Before you skip ahead or continue, check the timestamps, check the playlist for specific floor sets, check out my merch store for Deep Dungeon related apparel. Cue the intro. Hello, I'm Angelus Demonus with a Dawntrail live tutorial guide for Palace of the Dead solo on Pictomancer if your goal is to get the Necromancer title. This live tutorial guide will cover floors 181 to 190. I will provide aggro and sleep intel on the top of the screen for every pull. A major takeaway from this floor set is I just about handled most of the pulls without steel, with a few experimental showcases as well. Pictomancer's big burst will be even more important to take advantage of, as well as the pacing of when you should fight and when you should navigate. The floor 190 boss will definitely be very dangerous, and I advise checking as many attempts as you can to know when it's best to cast your motifs and when it's best to kite. Pictomancer has very good damage, so don't feel so bad that you are spending some time just running around and kiting. I will also add the bomb chart on the actual 190 attempt in real time in case it helps. I highly suggest gandering at the timestamps in the description below if you wish to look for specific tips that may help you or floors you might be stuck on. If you are looking for the other floor sets, be sure to check the playlist on the upper right card or in the description below for the link. If you have any questions on anything that goes on with this run, things I may not have covered, or if you are confused on anything, be sure to leave them in the comments below and I will try to respond as soon as I can. No single question is silly, and every single experience is unique. Be sure to keep me posted on how your own runs are going. Good luck, have fun, and I hope this guide helps you. Welcome to 181 to 190. So we just dropped Behemoth, and it doesn't get any easier from here. Actually, I would argue that Godfather is probably going to be way harder than Behemoth. I mean, if you got your burst ordered in Behemoth, I mean, Behemoth's still going to be really hard. But Godfather is going to be consistently playing that thing, like, really well for like 6 to 7 minutes. So one of the things I'm going to do once we get to Godfather is we're actually going to do that fight without any lust. Now, the reason why you would use lust is to kill the boss faster, but Pictomancer's damage is very, very good. So what we're going to try to do on that fight is focus more on trying to get the survival down on Pictomancer to see when you should kind of run, when you should heal, and try to get that a little bit more in, and try not to complicate the process by adding a lust in. Now, you are very welcome to lust, and a lust will be really good in these type of situations. If you're running low on time, you know, you walk into the boss with like less than 8, less than 6, you're gonna have to try to figure out the lust. But many jobs out there that we've done of, you know, even warrior machinists, so on and so forth, a lot of the lust strategies are all going to be very similar in terms of how you execute them. So this time we're going to kind of be like, okay, well, if you're doing good on time and you get to the boss with enough time, let's kind of get you through that 190 boss, because I've heard of many people wiping to 190, and Godfather is very tough. So when we get there, the focus will be on how to survive, how to manage that damage, what to look out for, how to kind of just get through that fight as hopefully safely as possible, and to just know what you're looking out for. But as always, we have to get to Godfather. So what we're going to be trying to do here, we're going to definitely pull one of everything. We're definitely going to be trying to sleep everything just to showcase if something is going to be sleepable. Hopefully we'll be able to continue to show the burst of Pictomancer and how crazy the burst is, even when we start fighting some of those kind of famous and more difficult enemies out there, and we'll showcase all that one. There's also going to be a lot more palm management discussion with this run, because there's a couple strategies that we'll employ, like a little bit aggressive on flights, maybe a little bit aggressive on alterations this time around. So you're going to see that also bit discussed and implemented, and it'll be about just kind of getting to the boss with hopefully an ample amount of time. Let's do our checks here. Check your food. If your food has gone off, which it had been on my end, we're going to re-up the food. Again, I like using the direct hit determination on this job for here. Check your potsherds, check your sustaining potions. I have 345. I'm happy with that number. I have enough high potions here. Make sure adult sleep are on your hotbar if they aren't already. I don't know how you got here, but hey, I got rid of the tincture because I'm not using tincture anymore, and we're good on those checks. So let's hop on in. Oh, I exited. Ha 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 ha. Is 181 alteration a good... Yes, it's still going to be a good choice for Pictomancer in my opinion. Now, if I'm starting to get a little weird with the Purify, I may adjust it, but it's still going to be a little better than still handling those Frost Dragons and those Scorpions. But Pictomancer does a really good job deleting them, so we'll see how the game plays as we climb up. So let's do it. 181 plus. Immediate raising. Check your raising. Make sure you don't forget those raisings. Use them right away. Per usual here, I will start off with a strength even though it's at 2. Just so we can get the ball rolling and kind of get the time moving here. A couple enemies we will want to pull. Alright, let's pop the strength first. Okay, first enemy here. Deep Palace Grenade. It is a sight aggro. It does a point blank. Does some moderate damage if it gets to you. But it is one of the better pulls because it will only do single attacks here. There's the hyperthermal combustion. And then it'll just do single attacks. So it's a really good pull here. Highly recommend if you're going to pull a Wamouracampa, you want to have a little bit more burst for it. So I'm actually going to pull another grenade here before I get the Wamouracampa. Maintaining, so here's actually a good example of our stagger kiting. So as we're moving back, as it comes into us, we move away from it. That's not a good example there. Okay, there, we dodged the attack there. So that's stagger kiting. Not at its finest, but good enough. Okay, hammer's gonna be coming in. So the one reason I wanted a bigger damage is because this thing, if it catches up to me, the damage can be a lot. Wamouracampa is sound aggro. And you want to do a respectable burst here. So we'll open up here. With the full burst, you're definitely going to delete it. It does do a range attack, which is one of the reasons why it gets a little bit scarier, because it's an unavoidable thingy and it can hit you from afar, whereas the bomb has to kind of catch up to you. But it is definitely good to kind of give it a little bit more respect. I still have some damage here, so I'm going to unleash it on the grenade before I lose the hammer here. As you can see, we did half HP on the bomb already with just that hit there. That's just gonna be what Pictomancer is gonna bring to the table. Potion's going right now. Okay, getting the motifs back up. So hammer's down, but I do have winged. So let me see what else is over here. If there's an ice fight, I'd like to pull it. There is an ice fight. Okay, we're gonna save our burst with the ice fight. Ice Sprite is going to be another enemy where you would like to have your burst. I would say of the things here on the floor, your hardest thing is probably the Ice Sprite, followed by the Wamouracampa, followed by the bomb being the easiest option here. And the reason why, I mean, a lot of these enemies, even when they hit you, they're going to probably interrupt you. But an Ice Sprite has a big chance of actually interrupting you with your regular cast, which makes it really, really annoying. Okay, so we're gonna pop in here. Now, don't open with your muses right away, because it's casting. So if you just do it at a bad time, you may kind of clip something else if it's running through it. Alright, so here's our burst damage coming through here. Okay. Now I'm gonna pull another one, because I have quite a lot of burst still left over. I have one hammer, one beam, and one palm muse there. And this is Pictomancer. A lot of this you're benefiting off of the strength, and I do want to point that out, that the strength is definitely helping us out a little bit. Now the problem here is I don't have another burst currently. So we do have one coming in a little bit, so I'm gonna just fight this, but I'm gonna mind my shield and mind my heal here. Will smudge aggro sound enemies? Yes, because you're going to be moving at full speed, so you definitely will aggro. Okay, going to the next floor, we are going to open with a flight here. Here's the logic of opening with a flight. Our strategy here, 82 flight, 83 flight, pushing flight to 1. Consider this. You're probably going to have to speed up at this floor set somehow, some way, because the enemies are a lot harder, etc. If you need to use something, and if you wanted to use a flight, what does a flight do? It cuts the amount of enemies you need to kill by half. You'd rather do it earlier, because you know you can manage the enemies earlier, because they're a little bit easier than the enemies later. So that's why the idea of using a flight early is in the strategy book, and I would say that's kind of universal for almost all jobs, although Pictomancer might be able to get away with it because of its damage. But still a good consideration for when to use those flights. If anything, you can be even cautious to use them maybe just 1 and sit at 2, but I'm gonna do 2 of them so I can sit at 1. I have a burst available. I think I saw a bomb, so let's pull the Wamouracampa here with my burst. Big damage coming in with a shield. There's that cannonball plus an interrupt. You can see the amount of damage I'm taking from that without kind of my full burst or a double winged into Moogle Beam, but it's okay. Now I may want to pull a Sprite or Wamouracampa next. Save the bomb for when my burst is completely down. Holding. Aha! Okay, now I didn't do any sleep checks here, so let's do our first sleep checks that way, if I survive this. All three of them, boom. So we have slept, the bomb, and the Sprite, so those are sleepable. I've kind of forgotten to do the sleep check, but... Now this one is going to be a little bad, because... Hold on... May get the de-aggro too, because if we get 2 rooms away, I might be able to de-aggro them. Let's see. I got the de-aggro! Nice! Okay, so if you're 2 rooms away from the enemies, they will de-aggro because you're too far. In this case, I just reached that point, so they de-aggroed there. That was a tricky trap, but our first reaction was to do the sleep. We got the sleep on 2 of those enemies, and look, at least it fixed it. I was able to answer what sleep, so those 2 sleep. So not the Wamouracampa, but the Sprite and the bomb, so that was really, really good. Now, do I continue trying to get this chest? That's the question, and that was a resolution. I think I'm just gonna go. Let's do the next flight coming up here. I was thinking about the witching there, but I also had to worry about the enemies getting together, you know? So, but at least I knew the Sprite was gonna hit me, but not so much the Wamouracampa right away. Okay, first case of the bomb. I did not wind up my burst here. I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna witching this. Get off! Okay, good. It's an imp. An imp is bad because it does near max damage. So you're gonna see we're gonna take quite a lot of damage from this imp. But it's a little bit better than the Mimic itself, so I can avoid the pox. I'm not going to Swift here to get my other music, because I think I can kill it in time. And just as a note, I haven't really tried to sleep a Mimic, but a Mimic cannot sleep, so that's universal. Okay. Checking the chest here, I definitely want to get the Wamoura, because I think this is actually the last floor before we see a Wamoura. Not opening that alteration at the moment, because the enemies are still going to be manageable until, like, a little bit later. Let me just pull this one. Wamoura Patrol. Wamoura Patrol is a site aggro patrol. It doesn't sleep. But if I fail to mention the Sprites are site as well, we'll pull another one just to showcase that one. Oh yeah, I didn't really talk about the Sprites, right? So the Sprites here are site aggro. Now, what's interesting about the Sprites, if you look at them right now, it might be hard to tell what's forward, what's back. But nowadays, with the radio, you can look at the arrow. See the arrow right there? The front arrow, the big arrow, indicates that is its front, with the side arrows kind of facing the same direction. So that's one way to know where it's facing, and that's where you know how to avoid it, etc. Chimera, first example of Chimera, this is a patrol, proximity, definitely not sleepable. Let me just double check here. Dragon Voice in. For Dragon Voice, you have to go in because it is a donut. For Ram's Voice, it is at point blank, so you have to go away. There's Ram's Voice, make sure you're away. Alright, and then it does spam its breaths, which are codals kind of on its left, right, or behind itself. It does hit pretty hard if it doesn't do abilities, and right now, it's not doing abilities, so we have to be a little bit careful here. Oh boy. Okay. Okay though, we're still alive. For now. Ram's Voice just went out. It doesn't necessarily do Rams into Dragons or Dragons into Rams. It is a little bit more random of a fight, so you just have to kind of pay attention to its moveset. Dragon Voice in. Is a Garm a good choice to fight? I like fighting Garms, because there's a lot of damage mitigation that goes on, because it spends a lot of time casting. But the downside to Garms is that they do have some of the most HP on the floor in terms of enemies. So that could be a little bit of a thing to have to worry about. But generally, I do like fighting them because you do have a lot of damage. And because they are proximity, it makes it kind of really annoying to just have to dodge them all the time. So I will usually kill them on the spot if I see them. First case of the Crawler. which is actually going to be a tough pull on Pictomancer in particular because of its slow. I do have a full burst, so actually this will be a really good example to showcase the crawler without any strength or steel here. So we'll do it in a little bit. Let me just check what this room is. Okay. We do want to have our kiting available here. This is going to be a tough fight. Why this is going to suck is because we will take a slow here and then a poison eventually. We're going to hope that our damage is going to be enough as we go through. We're going to do our little Slidecast trick. So as we do a casting, we're going to Slidecast and then we're going to sprint thereafter so we get the full duration of the sprint. Popping a potion. Okay, casting here. And Slidecast, full sprints. Okay, running, running, running. Okay, full burst was good. You killed it in time with that full burst. That's without strength. And yeah, that slow is gonna get bad. It also does cast a it also casts a poison, and the poison will basically negate your sustaining potion. So if that fight extends longer and longer, the more in risk you are of dying. So I do not like fighting those on Pictomancer in particular. I would rather not fight them. But at least we got one out of the way to showcase it to you if needed. Yeah, and we're able to basically with the full burst, the entire burst, that's double Muse, winged. Oh, hold on. I'm not healing. Make sure you heal, guys. Double Muse into beam. That's at its full potential with the hammer too. Okay. Okay, so I know the exit's open. I may try to look at that room that's into the north side to see if there's a chest over there, otherwise we were going to go. This exit was blocked by 2 bombs, so we're going to hope I can get a good position here. I will check this chest even if it's a mimic. Do not be afraid of mimics. Fortune, not going to use it. Don't be afraid of mimics. You're definitely going to kind of, really kind of short your run by just skipping chests all the time. Like, they are the reasons you're gonna clear, you know? A strength is huge, a steel is huge, a flight is huge, a rage is massive. And you don't want to have that fear of the mimic coming in. You just gotta, if you pop one, you just gotta deal with one. This is a full floor 84. Vindthurs. Vindthurs is one of the better pulls to have here. It is proximity, it is patrol. It's still gonna kind of truck me a little bit because of the gloom, but we'll be able to get quite a bit. It does do a lot of casting, which is why it's an ideal pull. So there's a lot of opportunity to kind of stay alive against it. Again, this is going to catch up to me due to the gloom, but we're still going to have a lot of opportunity to not really die to this thing. See this? Makes him a good pull. Makes him a good pull. I know that there's another one coming. I'm going to wind up my burst here, and we'll pull the next one coming in. We're going to try to get through the gloom, but it depends on what the options are. Right now I have 2 crawlers in front of me. That is not great, because I'm not pulling them in gloom. The longer cast of the pallet could be a little, you know, interesting. Okay, holding. That's a little premature on that shield, but that's okay. So I want to at least get rid of this first, and then we'll figure out what we're doing after. Okay, let's go. Depends on what's in front of me. These crawlers are sound, if I failed to mention. They are sound aggro, so we can walk past them. There's another Vindthurs coming, which is really nice, but I'm gonna go get it over there. Oh, I didn't sleep these. Let me sleep the Vindthurs. Sleeping? It does in fact sleep here. I didn't sleep the crawler, but I'll try to pull the crawler a little bit later to do the sleepy. You don't want to do one in gloom, that's for sure. Archaeosaur up there, but that's another one I prefer not to do in gloom if I can help it. Actually, a lot of things I don't want to do in gloom, but we'll figure things out. At least we're 3 kills into this floor already, so that helps. Silver chest. Okay. This thing's gonna hurt. But if I have a full burst, we might be okay here. I would rather do the Archaeosaur. No, there's a bomb coming in here. What else do we have? Wamouracampa. options. Now, I know there's a bomb back there, but I'd have to do something else. I have a full burst right now. Let's do the Wamouracampa here with full burst. Okay, had enough juice to kill it. So I'm gonna try to get over to the next room with the bomb. Gotta see where this is facing. This is facing towards me, so I want to get to the bomb over there. Waiting, waiting, waiting. And actually, this waiting is not a bad thing. Why is it not a bad thing? Because we're waiting for our cooldowns to come back on Pictomancer. So these guys take a while to move, then it opens the door to pull something else, not just the bomb that I was looking at. Okay, pulling. Make sure the potion's running because of the gloom. Stagger kite a little bit there. I think this is going to be 5 kills. I'm going to shield so it can break it. Okay. So my next pull probably wants to be either a... I think a Sprite would be a better option here. If I have a shield, I could do the Archaeosaur. Archaeosaur is a sight aggro. Basically the same as the dinosaur earlier. It'll come in with a double attack and then a point-blank AoE. Now the double attack is the one that's concerning. But if I had a shield like an addle, I could probably survive it. So I may actually wait for that and maybe pull that one instead of the Sprite who can interrupt me. Let's go with that. Again, this is where like it gets weird with Pictomancer. Because again, I'm just sitting around, I'm just standing here, I'm just waiting. But the waiting is part of the strategy for Pictomancer, especially since you're flying through the... Look at our time! 42 minutes into the 4th floor. We're flying right now. Alright, I have full burst available and the shield is about to come in. Just gonna get a position here. Okay, Slidecast pull. Oop. Gonna shield right now. I wanted to break the shield. Good. Okay, could be a little treacherous here. Gonna addle. Oh, it's bad. Okay, not great. Gonna witching. Okay, it's fine. Okay, now this is a crawler. Properties still stay the same if even if they're witching. Checking the sleep here, it cannot be slept. It actually causes a little bit of a problem. Thinking about what I want to do here. Might be a steal. I'm gonna steal. Gonna have hammer coming up soon. There's a slow thread. Shield is coming up in a bit. Okay. But I got the hammer going, so it's fine. That was my bad in the kiting. I kind of was a little too aggressive on that kiting, so I ran into the crawler, so that was completely my bad. Committed to steel bears, so now with the steel, I do want to make the most of this steel. I want to make sure that I'm aiming to kill. Now, here's one little tiny thing to think about. The steel opens the door to fighting things. So what you may not want to consider now is you may not want to rage. Because if you rage on like the next floor, well, where's that steel going? I'm like, okay, you can survive the rage, fair. But you really kind of want to consider fighting things with the buff on right now, right? Because things are going to be a little bit easier to fight. Pulling the Vindthurs. Now I would strength here, but my strength will get pushed to 2. I may want to avoid the scorpion at the moment. I can't fight through this, and this is where the steel is now going to be beneficial. This is definitely a floor. If I didn't have the steel on, this probably is a Serenity. Or a very carefully crafted floor with maybe strength on, but now with the steel, it does open the door for me to handle this. It's mitigating quite a lot of damage. So we're gonna try to get an advantage here. I saw a number of patrols coming in. Oh, we just get the Serenity anyway, so that works out too. Okay. Worm. Scorpion. Okay, there's a couple I can pull. Wamouracampa. We're gonna do the Wamouracampa with no burst, because I want to save the burst for the Scorpion and the Worm. The Worm and the Scorpion are definitely some of the more deadlier things to deal with. I would definitely advise that you don't fight them without your full burst, because they are going to do a lot of damage. The Worm has an Enrage, the Scorpion just has a lot of high damage in general. So here we're just going to GCD this down, but I'm going to hunt down that Worm next. Worm is sound, Scorpion is sight. Okay, so here's the Worm. I have full burst available. I'm gonna open with this, and gonna go here. Gonna sprint. Gonna stay away from it. If I'm up close, it does have range attacks. If I'm up close, then it gets a little spicy. Okay, full burst-ish. So that's fine, actually. He's an easier enemy to deal with. Gonna watch my damage here. Okay, good. It does have an enrage, but it's in 30 seconds, we'll be fine. I could sleep the Vindthurs, but our Swift was down, so it's okay. But again, not a bad pull there. There's the Worm. Needed a little extra damage to get him down without the Strength on. Definitely with Steel. If you had Strength on, you can totally do those Worms without Steel. But the longer and longer the fights go on, the more likely you are that you may, hit the dirt. So Strength is so powerful in Pictomancer, but without that Strength, you do want to consider what your pulls are. That was with full burst on that Worm, and it wasn't quite enough to kill it. But that's okay. We'll do the Scorpion next, it looks like, maybe? I have a lot of my burst available. Let me do this Vindthurs first. And I'm gonna hold my burst here. I'll do Pallet, though. And we'll do the Scorpion next. Just maintaining the regular GCDs here because I'm saving my burst for the bigger pull. This is where, again, you're managing your damage on Picto to kind of pick the easier ones, pick the harder ones. Okay, get the Lust back, which is fine, don't really need it. Okay, so full bursts here. Gonna open with Pallet. Gonna Slidecast Sprints. Alright, so the Scorpion is gonna open with a pull-in. Right here. And then follow in with another kind of tank buster move. It's then gonna do Tail Screw after this. With the Steel, I might be able to block it with the shielding here. Maybe not. Nope, if it lands, it gets the slow, but we still mitigated quite a lot of damage, and boom, it's dead after that. After that Tail Screw, it would use another pull-in after that, but it didn't get to it because it died. And again, that is no strength with Pictomancer, and still kind of deleting them pretty convincingly. I would say you could probably do that without Steel. The Worm might get a little spicy without Steel, but that is definitely probably doable without Steel and without Strength. Why would I open gold chests before precasting pictures? Because I forget. Literally, because I forget. Only reason. Always open a gold chest with your motifs up. But in my case, if you see me doing it, it's just because I just forget. And a lot of times I try to be verbal about it. I try to be like, okay, motif, but sometimes I just forget hitting the button. But, it may happen in your runs as well, days, but, it's just trying your best to always remember and hit those buttons, trying to get into the habit of it. Now, this claw is going to move about 3 seconds, 5 seconds after it spawns, so it's going to move soon? Right there, okay. So I wanted to respect it. Okay, this is also Danger Room. Thanks to our buddy DEREBAN. I know this is Danger Room because of the blocks on top. So what happens is there's this possible trap right along the side over here in this particular room. So just to be safe, I don't want to go along the left side, but rather I want to go along the right side. Again, it's like there's a bridge over there, but more what I look for is this top room. They call it Danger Room. DEREBAN calls it Danger Room. That's what I'm looking for. So a lot of times if you see me looking to the ceiling, that's what I'm trying to identify. So there's a trap. If I walk along that wall, I could potentially hit it. Does the fact that you can sleep certain enemies change your target priorities on Gloom? It opens the door to it, but an Archaeosaur can get a little tricky because it can kind of just obliterate me if I don't handle it correctly. Okay, first instance of a Flood Dragon. I want to pull this right away. So we're gonna go here, I'm gonna go here. I have Sprint available here. This is gonna be no Steel. I mean, sorry, this is Steel, but no Strength. Gonna shield the first one here. It's gonna do the opening Frostbite right there. And the reason why this is bad is you can see the Frostbite. 1500 going over my sustaining potion on that one. But with a full burst, those Flood Dragons, out of here. One of the most deadliest enemies in Deep Dungeon. Trivialized by Pictomancer's Vein Burst. And again, that's without Strength. With Strength, we're already proving like Pictomancer has ridiculous damage, but even without Strength, it's deleting those Flood Dragons. Now, bear in mind, it's deleting those Flood Dragons with a full burst, right? So there's a difference there. I mean, if I didn't have a burst there, forget it. I'm gonna get obliterated by the dragons myself. Okay, want to check these chests first. Now, to be fair, I don't think I want to pull a Flood Dragon with my Steel dropping. Maybe. I don't know if I'm into it, but we'll see. Maybe I will. But I would need a full burst coming up here. I'm in a little bit of a particular spot here because I do not have any hiding room. I hit the wrong freaking motif. That's not good. Okay, I'm gonna have to sleep this. Checking for sleep. Okay, this one can sleep. I don't think I checked it earlier. Didn't check the Flood Dragon if it can sleep. I can almost tell you it doesn't, but I'll probably pull another one just to showcase it. Vindthurs coming in, so I'll pull this right away. I'll try to pull a Flood Dragon without the Steel. If we die, we die. I'll do another raising. Oh, that's a lot of damage. I don't think I had a potion running. I wanted to have a shielding available for the pull, but it's okay. Did break. Now, we are on the 6th floor. We've been doing this time check on the 6th floor. If I'm over 30 minutes, then I can kind of proceed as normal. If I'm under 30 minutes, I want to go a little bit faster. So far, we're kind of proceeding as normal, if you will. But, oh, Rage. Okay, so we have a Rage exit here, but I still want to try to do the Flood without anything. So let me just try to chill here for a bit. I want some kiting room as well. And then we'll delete everything else. Gotcha, DEREBAN. Concerning the danger room. Is it better to spread Strength and Steel to get more coverage, or use them? You would like to use them both at the same time. The only reason I didn't is because I only have 2, as opposed to having 3. I would have totally used the Strength if I had 3, but I don't have 3 right now, so... Okay, let's do the Flood Dragon, no Strength, no Steel. Open with Pallet. Potion. Gonna do the Slidecast open here. Okay, pray for me. This is gonna hurt. Oh, I don't make it. Uh-oh, I'm dead. No! I just missed it. And also, like, I would have been able to get that damage off, but I think I probably missed a crit or something. That's okay. I will re-raising here. And we are gonna just rage out of here because we have the reach. I gotta be careful it doesn't come at me. I think I just missed up my damage somewhere, or I took some extra hits, but without that Steel, that is a terrifying fight. Popping this just in case, popping this, popping this. Switch, we have the reach. I also saw a chest by the Scorpion, which I think I didn't go and check, but that's okay. Yeah, so strength is definitely an attribute for Pictomancer for sure. Like, if you saw, we got so close to killing that Flood Dragon. So if I had the strength there, we probably would have deleted it pretty good. Okay, gonna try to do this kill really quickly. Okay, good. Luring Trap is okay, as long as you're quick about those kills. And then you saw with Steel. With Steel, it's not too bad either because we're able to survive longer. But without both of them, it can get a little spicy. We haven't even seen a Strength and a Steel kind of come back, kind of. So that's also kind of throwing a little bit of a wrench into the play. That enemy's in the wall. You see it? You gotta walk down the wall there. I think I can get this one and the worm. Okay. Not a lot of chests dropped, so I'm gonna get the chest here. Now, I'm gonna kind of keep an eye on that dragon. That dragon was facing to the wall. Sometimes, bigger enemies like the Flood Dragon will move a lot less and a lot slower than most other enemies, like the smaller ones. So there's a possibility that it doesn't actually move, but also if I do see it in a different position when I come back, it means it could have just moved, or, you know, it's at a normal pace. So I wanted to observe where it was facing. And when we get back there, we'll take a look. I'm also gonna start utilizing the altars here. So I'm gonna actually do an altar here and a affluence. So in this case, we are kind of betting that we might get mimics here, but I would much rather face a mimic than probably a Flood Dragon, which just obliterated us with no buffs, or a scorpion or a worm. So it still kind of holds true that I would still rather face a mimic versus those three. So that's where the alteration will start to play out. Okay, so the dragon did move, so there's a possibility it's going to move again. I don't know if I want to waste my time getting to this chest, but we'll give it a little bit of time. Damage Potion is an option for Flood Dragons if you don't have Strength and Steel. I would say that is an option if you are confident you will get it down. Now, looking at the damage, you can probably be confident knowing that it will. But it also means that you are now removing the ability to do a heal with your Max Super or Hyper Potion. And especially with the amount of damage that Frostbite does, it could get a little tricky. I could force the movement of a Flood Dragon by doing Witching by making it smaller. That is 100% true. Got Corrigans. Ooh, that's a little bit of a lag there. Intuition, which I haven't used this entire time, but that's fine. I'll just use the extra one. There's a Chimera coming here. I should be confident in killing a Chimera in Gloom. It's gonna watch our damage. If my shield goes down, then my Hyper Potion goes down, my potion goes down, then I have to be a little bit careful here. I actually wanted to hit me. It did. Oh, it did hit me. Oops. Okay, well, it didn't break my shield, so that's unfortunate. Dragon Voice in. Now, the thing that's kind of riding in the back of my head right now is that we are not getting Strength and Steel, so I want to be very careful about those usages. I don't want to overuse them, because we definitely need to have it for the boss. So now I'm kind of playing, like, thinking, okay, we probably rage out of here, you know, for a couple floors to help me out. Or if I get away with some of these kills, you know, we'll see, like, what happens with this one after these 4 kills, to see if I'll be able to get out. There's another Chimera, and this one's getting a little spicy right now. Always be behind the Chimera, by the way, when it does Dragon Voice, because it could sneak in a hit. We talked about that with Behemoth earlier, that you don't want to be in front of Behemoth when it's finishing the Meteor cast, so it's kind of the same with Chimera. Be behind it when it's finishing Dragon Voice. Safety's gonna be good. I will also do yet another Altar and Affluence, already planning this one out. We have a bunch of Chimera floating around though, so that's something to mind. Because I can't fight them. I just need to see if I can see the exit. I don't know, I hope it's not over there. Chimera's coming back. Yes it is. Yes it is? No. No? I don't know. Wasn't there another one? I'm just gonna check the chest. I know that there is another one. I just don't know what it is. Maybe that was the one I was tracking. That's a little unfortunate. Okay, so this is gonna be a bit of a problem because it is in Gloom. I think I can Witching it though. I don't know if I can kill it in time, but we'll try. It is an imp, which means it's gonna do close to full damage again. It was an imp last time, so it's gonna be a little concerning. So we'll see how this goes. I may kill this in time. "7 seconds. Is it gonna be close?" I'm just gonna miss it, rip. But I think I kill it though, so that's a plus side. At least I'll take that as a victory. So I'll probably have the purity here. We are out though, so there is that part. Okay, now I need to find the exit. This is tough, because I don't think I saw the exit in these couple of rooms here. This is safety, so I can probably sneak around here. Didn't see it there, didn't see it here. Oh man, there's like another room I think down there. I'm gonna sneak past these guys here. These are all Slide aggro. Claw Sight, Dragon Sight. Oh, that is not the exit. And that thing just like really hit me hard. I'm gonna check this chest hoping for the best. If it's another Mimic, then I just cry. Twitching. Okay, take it. I don't know if the Scorpion moves. I don't think it was I think it was still facing that way by the time I turned. Yes, it was. Okay, so the exit's going to be this away. Oh, there is the other Chimera that I was tracking. Shh. Okay, so I'm gonna have to wait now. And hope it doesn't come this way. Good boy. Oh, but I gotta wait. The dragon could move in my way, so I need to be a little bit careful here. Moving now. Okay, good. I can get past the worm because it is sound aggro. There's the exit. That is a treasure room, I think. But the treasure room is kind of clear. I'm gonna take the win and not open the chest. I can totally get that gold chest, but if I get that, that's complicated as hell, you know? Mimic, and then I have to just fight it there, and then, yeah, so we're just gonna take the win on that one, just take the exit. That was a very fortunate treasure room. Clear room. Okay. Got the strength in, so that opens a lot of doors for me right now. We did get mimics, but is it in my way? If it's not in my way, I don't deal with them. Not in my way. That doesn't look like an exit or something. They have big aggro ranges, so you have to be very careful about those mimics. I do have a strength on, so... Oh, I have pox on as well. I probably want to get rid of the pox here. I think let me check this chest first, because I tend to have a little bit of a paranoia here, where sometimes the first chest in the floor could be a mimic, or if I get one recently, I'll get another mimic. So we're going to kind of protect against that in a way. I gotta go the long way because of the scorpion. Steel. Ooh, that opens quite a lot of doors, so I can actually fight out of here and keep the rages in check here, which is really gonna be nice. Well, I'll consider it though. I think I strength, but I may hold the steel, because the steel is definitely going to be very valuable, potentially. And here's kind of where we're really going to try to take advantage of the Pictomancer burst. I should really kind of pull something now, because I'm just kind of sitting here with the damage waiting. So I'm going to open with the strength here, keep it at 2. Okay, I'm gonna open with the purity now. I'm going to take care of a worm here. Worm, again, is sound aggro. Help. Alright, dead worm. Chimera next, while my burst is coming back up. So this will be a lot easier to fight, just kind of straight up. I do have to be careful of the worm behind me, because it's going to shoot at me. Again, staying behind the Chimera so it doesn't kind of clip me in front after it finishes Dragon Burst. Dragon Voice in. Making good time. Can probably do the next floor just kind of straight up. Okay. Frost Dragons here. I probably have the confidence of the Frost Dragon. I don't know, without steel though. Let's avoid the Frost Dragons for now, the Flood Dragons. Let's pull this one though. My shield is down here. Got a Scorpion behind me. 2 Flood Dragons over here. More Flood Dragons. A little bit of a burst available. I think I'll just pull the Archaeosaur, which I should be okay with my current damage. I'm gonna take a hit here. I'm gonna addle though. It's gonna hit me, and then it's gonna do the point blank. Have time to cast my pallet here. Time is looking very good. I may want to sneak in a heal after the double attack. That's fine. Now we can do some hits here. Good, excellent. My full burst is coming up soon. The Flood Dragons are kind of giving me a bad vibe here. I may try to pull the one that's over there with my full burst. If I die, then I will rage, and it'll change everything, but it's okay if I die. Definitely want to showcase this one with the strength on, because I was saying, oh, you could do it with strength. Well, may as well show you guys if we can do it with strength. Popping a potion, going a pallet. Slidecast. Nice distance on that one. Oh yeah, there you go. That is a lot comfy with strength on. Didn't even get to the second muse there. Gonna check the chests while I... Look at this! Look at this! 2,500 with the frostbite. Check that out, dude. Ugh. That's even with the passive regen that you have. So, preferably not fight that without steel unless you're really confident. Strength came back good. But that's what Pictomancer can afford you. I don't know if any other job is really gonna have that confidence on that one, you know? I think the exit is here. Where the worm is? The dragon. Okay. I'd want more or less the full burst here. Wait. No, it's not here. It's in the other room. Wait, it's the other room? Okay. Fine. I'll pull this one then. Okay. Slidecast here. I gotta be careful. I didn't want to do the hammer, knowing that the worm had a potential to run through the dragon. Okay. That's a respawn. Please, if this aggro's, I immediately witching because I don't have a burst. Okay. We're into the last floor. 17 into the last floor. It affords us roughly about 10 minutes to get off that floor. We should have enough time for it. Ideally, I just kind of handle it straight up, but we'll see. More than likely, I may have to end up raging, but we'll figure it out when we get there. Check this chest. Wait for the Archaeosaur to move. Flights! Ooh, I am gonna flights. Push it to 2. Kind of make sure that we get off that floor next. The palms are really, really good, but the strength and steels were kind of thinning out a little bit. So we're taking Pictomancer's advantage of damage advantage here and really, really getting a lot out of it, because it's saving us so many palms. You know, I'm saving the rages here, just relying on that strength to just murder so many things, and not a lot of jobs can pull that off, really. I mean, you still have to have the confidence to pull it off, and the execution of that burst, but man, you know, strong. Scorpion. Full burst on Scorpion, I can do it. I'm gonna check the chest first, though. Or get the rage. I wanna do the Scorpion, though. I'm gonna open with Sleep on the Scorpion. Have full burst. Okay. It's gonna pull me in. It's gonna hurt. I'm gonna addle. Roll tail scoop. Okay, we're fine. That is strength on. So basically I've pulled everything. Like, in general, with steel, without steel, with strength on. So that's a really good example there. Now, what I want to do, we do have the rage. I want to try to get to as many things as I can before I have to rage, because I can check the chests, you know, see if there's any mimics in them. It's going to be very careful about this, because if I pop this dragon, it's going to be very bad. He moved forward, so that's good. Resolution. Gonna try to check this chest, and hopefully the dragon doesn't burn me, or the scorpion for that matter. Stop. Good. Oh boy. Steal into the boss. Right, the game is being very nice to us right now, but there's so much that Pictomancer can mitigate, you know, even with these palms. I mean, you can see the steal was almost unnecessary. That is a treasure room on the exit. Fantastic! This is really good, because we had some questions about how do you deal with the treasure room on the exit, how do you deal with this type of thing, especially with how bad this is. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Thank you for showing up. Look at them, they're so well organized over here. Okay, so basically what I want to try to do here, because let's try to map this out, right? I have the steel behind me, so I'll worry about it later. There's no worms here, which is really nice. If there's a lot of worms, this will be very treacherous. Now, you have literally 3 enemies that are going to be facing towards you. The dragon is facing at me. So if I try to aggro the dragon, like walk in and try to aggro him, I may get the chimeras with me. I could go along the right side and grab the chimeras that way, but that also kind of poses to be a little bit of an issue. So our best play here is to actually witching. We want to witching as close as possible with the chimera behind me coming back, and then I rage. And then we start picking away at the ones that are witching, and this will make this a little bit smoother in terms of handling the rage. So witching is going to be a good method here to kind of get yourself a little bit safer here, especially without that steel. So I want to use that steel on the balls. So I'm going to pop that, pop this one, pop the witching. Going to get a bunch of them, which is fine. Now we rage. Right? We rage. Okay, good. Not going to safety your sight here, so they're going to start moving, right? So I'm going to get up here. Got the Garm and the Flood, which is fine. Gonna get the other Garm likely right here. Perfectly fine. I'm gonna sneak and aggro this Garm over here. Then I'm gonna kind of sneak around. I might get the Scorpion, which is fine, but everything else is looking in this direction, so I can sneak behind here and smack everything else behind from the back. I may get a Garm here, because I think there's another one that's here. So I'm just gonna watch the aggro number, the aggro listing here. Actually, I'm gonna go for the Garm right now. So that made it a whole lot more manageable. And this is actually the rare situation that you saw, where all the enemies were actually facing in one direction. Sometimes it'd be like that they spawn in the treasure room and they're literally all facing one direction. Now there, it was really unfortunate because it was all facing my direction, but using the witching was a big help in terms of actually managing that room. So that's one big way to do it. Aggro. Okay, get this one. I don't think I get that last room, but it's okay. Just made it too. What is this? That was the resolution. Okay. And then I think this was... I don't remember. Was this the rage? I think this was the rage. Yeah, this is the rage. Why no fortune? Good question. So I could have fortuned here, but we are getting a little close on time. And if I get a mimic now, I will have to then forfeit a purity just to get off the floor. Now I could still get a mimic, to be fair. But I didn't want to fortune here just because the time is a little tight. I actually thought about it, but you're running the risk of having pox for the boss. Or going into 1 purity into the boss. But I am checking these chests, so, you know, we could still get a mimic. Which you did. Oh boy, let's go. You wanna see Pictomancer's damage? I'll show you Pictomancer damage. This is no strength. Oh, that's not good. That I didn't predict for. Okay, so that causes a problem. I'm gonna witching immediately. Okay, so unfortunately, I can handle 2 mimics, but I can't handle a Garm at the same time. Kinda does throw a little bit of a wrench on the steel. I may need to steal again onto the boss. But I'm holding off from that strength usage there. Naturally, the Garm would aggro on me, like, right on top of me, huh? Okay, I think that dropped something. Ram's is out. Getting in there with the zoom, getting behind the Garm. Watching for the Conal. Watching my time, but we're okay on time. Ram's is out. I'm still checking chests, but I am going to use that purity once we finish checking all the chests. I don't regret it, but my time is getting a little thin, so we do want to be careful there. Okay, check. I didn't check it. Check. Another Mimic, okay. Alright, game, let's do this. I don't know, I'm gonna try to check the other one on the run. But it is asking a lot from me now. Affluencer, take it. This Wit Steel onto a lot more manageable Wit Steel. The damage is still really good without Shine. Time is still okay. And again, we're planning to do a no-lust 190 with a big focus on survival with this fight. So hopefully, even with that going on, we should kill it in a good amount of time. Not no time, but a good amount of time. And of course, the key to that is not having pox. So we save the purity for that instant, for that situation. Okay. Into the boss. Alright, let's see if we can talk about this boss to try to keep you guys alive as long as possible. Hopefully. First, we're going to get rid of the pox. Then I'm going to strength. Now, with the steel at 4 minutes, we want to be careful. So what I may recommend is, because we took so long on the previous floor, to probably just re-up the steel here. It should not fall off on this fight, especially with you as a DPS. So we're going to re-up the steel now, so we don't have to worry about it mid-fight. Because, man, the amount of times I personally died doing that, it ain't great. Okay, steel here. So again, no lust on purpose. We do have a bomb chart, exclamation point, but we'll do it here. Let's go. So the first bit here, he's going to do 2 auto attacks. It's going to be a good time to do your shield there to block the first one, which is right there. The bomb is going to come out, which you have to kill, which is going to be over here. Going to keep his shield going. Okay, we're okay here. Now, this portion, that small portion there, there's a lot of damage, but once he gets into sap, you're going to afford yourself a lot of time to kite and to mitigate damage. So you want to take advantage of this and let your potion do its work. Don't worry about doing another potion, don't worry about doing add-all, just chill for now. Now that's the third sap, so at this point he's going to come in with big damage. So I'm going to I'm going to do an add-all here. I'm going to add-all right now, get a fresh potion. Gonna zoom away here. I want to be in motion by the time that thing goes off. So even if you're kind of running away from it, it's better to be kind of safe with that. First red bomb that's gonna show up will be kind of southeast-ish over here where I'm standing. You want to watch your muses, so get them off before it shows up, otherwise your splash damage will hit the boss. So that's their bomb there, right about east. Did I say southwest? East. It's going to blow up, it's going to stun the boss. Now we're going to go into this situation here, where he's going to do a lot of damage. Now what I recommend, sprint, and just run for your life for a bit. He's going to do the thing soon. There's the tank buster. I kind of timed it a little bit, like a little bit of a delay, like right after that first auto attack. Alright, so bomb's here. Gonna give it some respect. I'm gonna get hit here a couple times, keeping the potion full uptime here. Smudge to kind of get some distance. Again, once those saps come out, you're kind of mitigating some damage because he's busy casting. You could let your potion kind of do its work here. When the sap goes off, I'm going to recast my motifs because it's going to be a good time to do that. I gotta get the hammer up as well. Addle's not back up, so I may have to consider a max potion to heal up the next one, or I could smudge out of here. So I'm gonna run away here. We're good. We're getting some distance away, so this is a really good take. No crits, no nothing. Addle is coming back up. I'm actually gonna wait and just kind of run. Again, dropping damage in this fight, don't worry about dropping damage. Next bomb is gonna be around the east side over here. I believe more there. That's the southeast one right there. Again, watch your motifs, watch your muses, because they're all AoE. No hammers, no muses. Just do regular damage here. Now you can time it. Alright, so now we're gonna run. It's gonna do one auto. If it's close in, it's gonna do another one. Right about here. Now we can shield. Hold. There's the double attack. That's fine. We're gonna be okay here. I may do a potion here. We'll see. Okay, I'm gonna potion actually here. Damage is a little low because I kind of burned off all of my stuff, so we're going to focus in on the ad over here. I got my pallet up. He's going to hit me, but that's okay. Okay. And then he's going to get probably one more hit into a sap. There you go. and then one more sap after this. And now we're at full HP, gonna re-up that potion again. Next bomb's gonna be to the northeast coming up here. I will addle this because the tank buster's coming and it's available. Okay, getting some distance here. Northeast is gonna be the next bomb. So again, we're trying to be very particular with our healing, making sure we don't overheal, maximizing our shield, maximizing addle. Getting the muse off now, before the thing comes off. Okay, good, we're clear. Lava bombs here. Doing some regular damage, preparing the sprint coming up soon. And the shield is available for this coming up. So it gets bursted. As it comes to me, it's fine. I'm gonna sprint now. One auto. Another auto is gonna come in if he gets it off. I'm gonna shield right now. Gonna keep running, not gonna stop. Just gonna keep on going. Respect it. Now we have some distance away from the enemy. I have a hammer going in. Going towards the thing. I'm gonna smudge away to kind of get a little distance. He's probably gonna get me one more time. No, he did not, which is actually really good. So that means I'm mitigating that damage. Getting my muse up, my motif up as I go here. Gonna get the motif up again after this next sap. And again, one more sap coming in. HP's looking good. Max potion is good. I'm gonna probably smudge directly after the tank buster coming in. So I'm gonna take the tank buster. Here I'm just gonna run, and then I'll smudge directly after the tank buster. So we're just gonna run here. Run, run, run. Wait for the tank buster. That's one hit. Tank buster, smudge. Now we're gonna let the healing come into play here, because we have some distance. He's not gonna get me for a bit. He may even get lucky, but he doesn't even get... He gets one hit into the sap. Now the next bomb is to the west, so I'm actually a little bit far from here, so I may have to push this bomb, which is perfectly fine. I actually may get the position here. A little far, so I'm gonna melee it to push him in. Pop. Good, no AoE. That's dead center, very good. So I was a little far from there, but that's no big deal. We push it in. Okay, now he's gonna come in me, I'm gonna sprint. My hammer lined up here, so that's really nice. Second auto hit, now I'm gonna do the shielding here. Gonna hold, gonna just run. Okay, perfect. Gonna potion here because it's a little bit tight. The HP there. Gonna wait for the sap to come in here before I do a motif. Alright, another motif. Next bomb is going to be to the south. It's going to show up to the south, middle south-ish. Alright, so now it's going to get into that other tank buster. I'm going to addle here. And I'm going to smudge directly after the tank buster. Smudge. So we get some distance. He has to get to me to do that next bit here. Hammer's coming up, so I want to get this out sooner so I can get the cooldown. Next bomb is going to be around where I'm standing right now, so I want to make sure no weird stuff, no nothing. It's actually a good time to get your motifs up as well, so I'm going to try to take the chance here to cast the motif. Since he's not doing anything, I'll not do anything. Boom. Now here, we're going to sprint, respect it. Run. One more auto is going to come in. Shield now. Keep running, keep moving. Perfectly fine. Wait for the bomb, respect the bomb coming up. Smudge in. Gonna hit the beam. I'm probably gonna heal here as well. Okay, good. And as you can see, the time is getting close with my Strength and Steel. But this fight is generally an 8-minute fight. By the time we get to the other bomb, and by the time we get to the next tank buster, it'll be fine. But as you can see, this is without Lust. So this is kind of keeping it a little bit more simpler. The Lust obviously would make this a little bit faster, but some people get a little complicated with the Lust because if you get the wrong timing, you can't really get the heal off. Sometimes people will feel obligated to get all 5 vulnerability stacks, but that is a demonstration there where you just don't need the Lust. And mind you, we were spending a lot of time extra kiting, so we were trying to go for survival. I was trying to verbalize when I was running away, when I was planning my shield, when we were doing addle. So hopefully that made sense in terms of trying to stay alive in that fight. There were like a couple spicy moments where we had to use the max potion, but generally it was still pretty good. So hopefully that translated well to you guys. going for Picto, because I think this is probably the hardest boss for most Pictomancers. You're probably going to breeze through Behemoth, most of you, but then Godfather kind of stops you, and it's the survival. It's trying to stay up on that fight that's going to probably get a lot of people, so hopefully that was a good example. And that is 181 to 190, a little bit of a spicy floor with a couple deaths here, couple interesting bits at the end there, but that was the floor set, so 190. Pictomancer looks broken in PoTD, but I'll stick with Machinist so I don't have to worry about Pox Mimics. Yeah, you know, Rebel Kitty. Honestly, that's enough of a reason for people to tilt. That's why I think it's really hard, if not impossible, for me to be like, Picto's better than Machinist. Picto's better than... It's like, they have pros and cons, right? They are going to be good in some departments. They're not going to be great. They're not going to be good in other departments. And it just comes down to what you prefer. I mean, I think Pictomancer at its best can really rival Warrior at its best, can really rival Machinist at its best, but I feel like they will do really good at what they are good at, you know? I don't think either one of them really stands out as a clear favorite, and people will have their... I mean, you may have people shifting into one direction more than another direction, but I would say you're not going to look at, like, you know, 100 here and 0 here. I think it's going to be more distributed between... And I'm just saying those 3 jobs. I mean, there's more jobs than that, right? So yeah, I mean, get an understanding of what you like and what you prefer, and then you run with that one as long as you're comfortable with it.